Welcome everyone. My name's Jose Chavez from Ready to Rank, and today with me I have Alison Evans from Pinpoint Local. And each week we discuss how local businesses can leverage the Google Business Profile, and we give expert advice, practical tips on how they can rank locally and benefit their business. So once again, Alison, we're here to talk about social profiles on your business profile. Um, the last previous weeks, we've been focusing on other areas like photos, products. What else were we discussing in the last sessions?
Highlights, which is a Google Business Profile feature,
Yeah.
reviews, of course, suspension,
Yeah.
all sorts of things. So we're on to social now,
Yes.
and where social and local meet, which is in Google Business Profile.
Yes. So if you haven't joined us before, Allison's business is all about the Google Business Profile. So if you want to know anything about your Google Business Profile, Allison is the lady to talk to. So I'm very honored to have her on my show, on our show, each week discussing how we can optimize the profiles. Now let's dig into socials. But before we dig in, just give a recap of who you are and your business, please.
Yeah, thanks, Jose. So I'm the owner of Pinpoint Local. So we specialised in local SEO, focusing on the Google Business Profile. So every local business you want to show up in that three pack when people are searching for your business, your services, or your products. So your Google Business Profile is about the people who don't know your brand name, but they're searching for your local services. So, emergency plumber near me, accountant in Croydon or whatever suburb. So, it's your business service plus a location is what they're looking for. And we help your Google Business Profile show up for those searches.
Awesome. Perfect. And if you don't have your profile set up, I highly recommend it. And if you don't have it optimized, that's the next step that business owners need to take. Now, let's dig into the social links on your profile. Now, I know this feature has been in for the last 2 years. Is that right?
Yeah. Now, it was rolled out towards the end of 2023. And it was rolled out with no fanfare, no announcement or anything. Now, compare that to the highlights feature, which was rolled out, and we covered that only 2 or 3 weeks ago, when it was actually, we covered it in the week it was rolled out. I think even, our podcast was within 2 days
Yeah.
of the Google announcement. And this was Google announcing a new feature on Google Business Profile, that highlights option. However, the social links was something they never mentioned. It just came out across in the US slowly, and then it just appeared one day on your Google Business Profile. So that's why I think it's really important to talk about, because some people may not even know it exists and haven't optimized it. And so it's part of completing your profile now
Mm.
is linking all your social profiles to your Google Business
Mm.
Profile. And previously, we used to, with our clients, we used to always link to their social profiles, anyways, within the content of the Google post,
Yeah.
or even in the CTA, the call to action, which was the link, learn more, buy now, whatever, would be a
Yeah.
link to a social platform because it just made sense.
Yeah.
But you had no other, you didn't actually have control about your actual profile. So
Yeah.
all of a sudden, it just appeared on Google Business Profile that you could now do your social links.
Mm. That's pretty amazing. I know Google's core algorithm had a massive update at the start of this year, and a lot of businesses that really benefited from this update are the ones that were mentioned across the internet, whether it be through social platforms, whether it be um, LinkedIn, any of those platforms. Google benefited these businesses and increased their rankings nationally and internationally. So it just goes to show that, like you said, Google's giving you hints on
Yep.
what to do. And even though it's 2 years old, it's still it's a new feature
Yeah.
in this whole scheme of the life
Yep.
of Google business profiles.
And I really do think when Google does something to the local profile, it can really be a bit of a uh, hint to people on what Google is thinking of. I mean, as we're saying, there was this algorithm update, the core algorithm, which is a bit different to the local algorithm, but that was about social networks. This happened 2 years ago, and it was showing that Google was seeing the profile, not just as a business name and a phone number. It
Yeah.
was an entity.
Hmm.
And it wasn't, and it was about your mentions on other digital assets as you're talking about. So it's a credibility factor that Google expects a business to have social profiles
Yeah.
because Google has put your social profile links in your business profile. So that means Google expects them to be there.
Yeah.
So that means that all businesses, all our clients, we say you have to have all your platforms. And they'll say, oh, no, I don't get clients from Instagram or TikTok or LinkedIn or whatever like that because they're trades. And so, you think of LinkedIn as professional.
Yeah.
But that's not our point. What we're trying to get about is that from Google's point of view, they want to see that business right across the digital landscape.
Yeah.
And using your profile to link out across that is the perfect scenario because you're using a Google platform to call across and
Hmm.
to validate your business. So you got six, no, I think you got 7 links
Yeah.
that Google allows. Use them all, but there is a caveat to that. Don't link to a social profile which is empty and dead and a ghost town
Yeah.
because that would do more damage than anything.
Right. So you're
So,
saying post 6 photos or something just to have something there, put the image, put the description.
yeah. Well, yeah, actually, as you say, put the description of the business, like make sure now that there's links on your profile going out, so make sure your social profiles have exactly the same name, address, phone number as what's on your business profile on your social profiles
Yeah.
because they're being linked together, obviously. So Google is seeing all that information and data across. So you don't want your profiles to be a mismatch to your social profiles to be a mismatch to what's on your business profile.
Hmm.
So exactly the same business name, exactly the same. You want the same phone number.
Yeah.
You want to mention locations on your social profiles, some either in your posts or in the about section, your website link, have it consistent right across. So that's your business details. And then when I said you don't want to link your Google business profile to a ghost town of a social profile, because it's all about engagement and showing that this business is showing their business assets. They're talking about themselves. So that's the wrong signal to give if you're just linking it to a profile that isn't doing anything.
Yeah.
So if you're doing everything across everything, link it all out. Otherwise, strategically use the links that your profiles is going to have, yeah, update images, update posts, content, and is talking about their business.
Hmm. That's yeah, it's more and more important to expand your brand outside of your Google business profile and have them all linking to each other so Google can see you as a whole. So if you are, for me in particular, I work on national SEO, international SEO. So my focus is the whole internet. So when it comes to brands and when it comes to businesses, I've seen a massive shift where Google is specifically looking for brand mentions across the web. So it's even, more important for local businesses to really capture this moment and optimize it to the best of their ability. You want a full lit green, completed profile. All these
Yeah,
little one percenters is just going to really boost local listings.
totally. I mean, everyone's um, talking about entity and visibility now. They're not talking about just a keyword, and nothing works in a silo anymore. It's all being connected. So um, you want, I mean, you see your Facebook page and your Instagram page if they're correctly set up, aligned with the Google Business Profile. So what you should do for every business, when you put in your business name, you should own page one of Google for your business name.
Yeah,
So that means it should have your website on the top left. On the right-hand side should be your Google Business Profile. Underneath your website should be your socials, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your Instagram, your YouTube channel. Then you should have your citations, and it just should be one listing after another, all about your brand name.
yeah,
Now, if you go into Google and you type in your brand name, your business name, and you only have the website, and then underneath that is another business name which is vaguely similar, or there's directories, or there's something like that. Google doesn't know enough about your business.
yeah. And that's a really good test. So,
It's a really good test to see what shows up.
yeah. And if you're listening and you're a business owner and you're curious on how you sit, you just simply do exactly what Alison just did and just analyze your position in your local area, and you will have the exact answer there.
Of
Whether,
what Google knows about your business.
yeah,
You can
and
see
whether or
it there.
not,
Yep.
mm,
And in the free video audit that we do, that's one of the things I always do in the video audit is I go to Google, I say, look, when I Google your business name, and the last one I did, they had their website, and then underneath that was a business that was very, very similar name. It was in the US.
mm,
And here we are in Melbourne, Australia.
yeah,
Now, if that was the only listing that Google could give for that brand name,
yeah,
Google doesn't know anything about it except
yeah,
if you actually type it in. So I said, and the easiest way to tell Google about your business is via the Google Business Profile.
yeah,
And with these social links now, and you align your social profile with your business profile in every single way. And I would even go as far as putting posts up that aren't necessarily social because I'm an SEO person. But if you're just launching a new service or a new location or something rather, do a social post with your business name, your phone number, your address, and say what it is that you want to announce. And put that on your social profile and on your Google business profile and link it all together. And then Google will know about that and put across several of those different profiles.
mm,
So, I mean, it's all about visibility. And the other thing is with local, if your competitors are not doing this, and there's every chance that they're not, you will beat them if you start this type of strategy.
yeah,
And it's very simple because you can also just share your content across to your socials if you're not a social media person. But if you're putting your Google business profile content on, you can just share it across that way to your socials. Whereas you can't necessarily do it the other way back unless you've got, two or three or four more clicks or you've got software. But within the profile, you can share it across. So why not at least share exactly the same content across? I mean, I would prefer it to be put in a social tone or voice rather than an SEO voice, but it's better than nothing.
yeah,
So it's easy to do, but certainly a lot of local business owners do not do it, haven't got their profiles linked,
yeah.
and then don't share content across, and they're missing an easy chance to outrank their competitors and be visible.
Mm. And the thing about this is that you've mentioned it before, it is very easy to do. Cost effective. The platform is absolutely free. You just need to invest that time.
And actually, I mean, as far as connecting the purpose, it's a one step that is just done once and that's
Yeah.
it. So when you go in, it's in the edit section of your Google Business Profile. So when you go into the back end and on the top left is edit your profile,
Yeah.
you go in there and you just go down and there's all the links that you can add. You just add your links. And for those who want to go a little bit further and a bit techie, and you want to actually measure if you're getting clicks from those links, and people do click them. I
Mm.
can guarantee you, we know, we measure. But you can put a UTM tag on these links so that you can track the links. So on each one of them, the Facebook, you can put it so that it's coming from the Google Business Profile. So you know
Mm.
that they're getting there via those links on the profile. But when you edit your profile, just go into those links, add them all. But as I said, don't send it to a ghost town.
Yeah.
Send it to an engaged profile, which is properly completed with images and all your details. And then once it's done, that's it. It's done. And then share your content across. But as I was saying, the links, if you're not aware where they show up, they show it at the end of your profile down the bottom. But it's just above the section where is people also search. And you'll find Google throws up a row, a carousel of all your competitors for that search. Well, just above that are your social links.
Yeah.
So you'll be surprised how many people do click into all those links and go and have a look at your Instagram or your Facebook. And if you're a visual business, I mean, honestly, have your Insta link there and have a really visually engaging Instagram. And someone is going to your social profile from Google, which is means that they didn't even know you on Insta.
Yeah.
They've got there via a search term that was just looking for a lawnmower near me,
Mm.
something like that. And
Mm.
then they've got onto your social profile. So, I mean, it really is a little gold gem to connect it and perhaps makes business owners think about actually doing socials
Yeah. Yeah.
because Google thinks they're important.
Oh, yeah.
And Google also wants the profile to be a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
So not only can people who go to Google who are trying to find your services, they'll find your business name, they'll find your phone number, your address, your hours of opening, your reviews, your content, your products, your services, your attributes, your highlights, your events, your offers, and your socials.
Yeah.
It really does make the profile a very complete, concise overview of your business, a summary basically.
Yeah.
And talking about overviews, I mean, surely you think that with Google's AI overviews and AI mode, this is all extra information
Yeah.
that gives the AI something to pull from.
Mm. It's very important. That's not to say the least. And if it would be interesting to find out for those that are listening, how many of you have completed profiles in the green?
Mm.
So if you are not in the green, and you can check by going into the back end, and there's on the top right hand corner, there's a little bar that says the progress and how far. If you're still in the yellow, I think you need to reach out. But if you are on the green, I would love to know how you went and how you got there and if you needed help getting there. But specifically those that are interested, I would suggest go to your profile, have a look at the top right hand corner at the back end, and see if your profile is lit up in green. If it's not, I suggest to go back to all our recordings, listen, or we do have something coming up that could be of interest where we will handhold you through a process of getting your profile in the green. That's all I'll say about that.
There's a bit of a teaser. There we
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
And I've got to add something to this. So this is what a deep dive further down is really good because there's so many little nuances to Google Business Profile. So that profile green, what Jose was just talking about, it's awfully difficult to get 100%. And I've had clients say, we're managing their profile, we're only 70%, 80%. That last little bit is usually Google Ads.
Yeah, really.
Yep.
Wow, that's a
Yep.
good tip.
Yeah. So don't, as long as you're a good way, 3/4 of the way or more
Yeah,
to yeah, when people go into the back end, you'll know what we're talking about. Or when we go deeper dive, we can really show this type of thing.
yeah,
But it's Google wanting you to spend money.
yeah.
So, and then you get 100%.
Well.
So, so yeah, we've had clients say, well, why aren't I 100%? You mentioned profile. I said, well, if you want to spend, several $100,000 a month, yes, probably will get it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, we'll leave it there. We'll wrap it up. Thank you once again for joining us, Alison. I really appreciate your time with us. I hope people are getting really good value out of this. Once again, reach out if you need any help or support with your Google business profile. Alison does have an audit that she provides for businesses who do want to look at improving their profile. Alison, do you want to touch quickly on that?
Yeah, sure. So for all business owners, I offer a free video audit of your Google business profile. And it goes for about 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, depends how much, in-depth deep dive. But I go from right up the top all the way through all the options, all the features. Are you utilizing? If you are you doing it correctly and properly? And what are the potentials and missed opportunities that you're missing out on your Google business profile? I also look at mentioned what your competitors are doing, how your brand is showing for local search terms. So it's all informational to help you as a local business owner to get your profile ranking for your brand and also your products and services.
Awesome. Great. Thank you once again, Alison. I appreciate your time. We look forward to next week and what we have on offer. We will give you more information on what we're working on down the track, but it will be a process where we handhold the whole process and get your profile optimized as best as we can. So listen out for that. Thank you once again, Alison. I appreciate your time and see you next time.
Yeah, good one. Cheers.
Cheers. Bye.